100 years ago, Adams would say the only, at least that's the assumption behind like every single economic theory, is business exists for profit, period. Profit, as like, excessive money after you deduct the cost and you collect revenue. So in that simplistic definition. So right now, apparently the businesses have evolved, the philosophy has evolved, and I would say there are two major dimensions in which those changes are occurring. One is how do you really measure and extract value of the business. It would be totally fair to say that the concept of profit has been replaced with the concept of value, and value not necessarily monetary. So, examples like, YouTube being sold to Google for, billions without generating a single revenue and still costing 300 million a year just to support, still, recognizing the value, Microsoft paying almost $10 billion for Skype, where economically you couldn't possibly justify that based on revenue. Like there's like no way that kind of revenue would justify. Facebook going public at 100 times profit. Again, from classical banking equation, freezing your money for 100 years with high risk because still it's a startup culturally, and this is 10 times more than you could get, by just buying a government bond, right? So still you're overpaying 10x relative to any existing investment instrument, and then still consider that a fair deal, and it happens at scale because apparently, you can maybe trick, one or two investors, but you cannot, go public on wrong assumptions, and still people paying that. So these are the examples how you focus on value. And then the second dimension apparently is, Humankind finally realized that, the business is not only, the vehicle to generate value, but actually it's something that, provides us our lifestyle. We spend more conscious, non-sleeping time in the office than we do with our families. So is it correct to measure that, hey, like most of my life is just dedicated to optimizing a single monetary, factor called profit? It just doesn't make sense. The companies should get like social responsibility. They should be comfortable for people to work them. That's more important than salaries and profits. The companies could go green because, apparently, there is like, high-level social humankind responsibility for how we leave the world to the coming generations, and so on and so on. So especially, from Scandinavia, but funny enough, even in the, most liberal countries like America, no longer you can really measure a company on just the profit measures.